Hello, everybody. This is Debo with Debo's Movie Reviews here, and this week's review will be Guardians of the Galaxy, starring Chris Pratt as Star Lord, Zoe Saldana as Gamora, Dave Bautista as Drax the Destroyer, Bradley Cooper as the voice of Rocket Raccoon, with Vin Diesel as Groot, featuring Lee Pace as Ronan the Accuser, and in the uncredited one, Josh Brolin as Thanos, with Benicio del Toro as the Collector. I gotta say, definitely knocked like almost all the MCU movies knocked it out of the park. I mean, James Gunn just knocked. Just, I mean, he knows how to that guy can direct. Hell, Guardians of the Galaxy. Just, I like Star Wars with a better soundtrack, in my opinion. I mean, not knocking John Williams and his fantastic scores, but in terms of already existing licensed songs and all, Guardians of the Galaxy kind of got the edge. I mean, just kind of from the personas of how perfectly cast everyone was, excellent storylines, great villains, and I should also mention excellent performance by Michael Rooker as Yondu. And it's a lot, and I gotta mention how a lot different what between how Yondu was because portrayed in the comics compared to the movies. Because Yondu was, of course, a Ravager, but in the comics, he was in the original lineup of the Guardians of the Galaxy. In the comics, while the movies, unlike a later 2000s iteration of the current team and all, not just not just some made up stuff for the movie. Although a lot difference there, it excuse me, being that in the comic Yondu used a bow and arrow, but I mentioned old badass uses of the little shark through thing he had, and most Space Mohawk in his turn as Blue Merle. What they because God, he was like real funny to have a guy play an alien but talk like a American redneck. But I got to mention how badass that use of that whistling arrow was. How he just single-handedly took down a whole Kree battalion in the movie. After Ronan the Accuser, of course, had his old debacle after this orb that contained one of the first Infinity Stones. I'm talking about the Infinity Stones of the movie timelines led up to. And whew, everything from like the action and all, because comedy, because I mean, talk about one of the greatest space westerns I could, and yeah, I consider this a space western just from the fact that Star Lord is supposedly an outlaw, going on stealing treasure and all. After he got taken in by the Ravagers after his mom died of cancer, and that's only in the movies. Comics, it was killed by an invasion, which I'm going to get to that when I get to do a review to the second one. But back to mainly on the first one, I mentioned about how it was when he was trained by the Ravagers, and of course went his own way, and of course get captured by the Nova Corps, which a lot of great performances by them, by like with Glenn Close as Nova Prime, and and John C. Reilly as Commander Day. I mean, you gotta say Nova Corps is basically like the Star Command of the Marvel verse, or mixed with DC's Lantern Corps. Along with great performances and a great post-credit Easter egg of Howard the Duck, which I would have thought they would have had a bigger part for him in season. It's the sequel, but hey, James Gunn, come on, more time for Huey and for Howard in Guardians 3. Come on, man. I don't want to say Huey, but Howard the Duck. I mean, it needs a proper adaptation. Not counting that cheeseball movie from the '80s, but that's for another review. But overall, I gotta give it a Gunn. I mean, just knock it out of the park. Just all around, great action, great storyline. I mean, come on. Great soundtrack. All the, even though much as I like the Ooga Chaka, the Blue Suede version of Hooked on a Feeling, I would say the B.J. Thomas version was a hell of a lot better. And of course, with a lot of great songs on it. I mean, like every time I hear Cherry Bomb, I always think of this movie now, and along with Hooked on a Feeling. I mean, saw the trailer when I saw Winter Soldier, and I was like, oh hell yeah. Next to a lot of great spaceship scenes, like when they're in nowhere and they, after escaping the space jail in their first adventure as the Guardians, and I mean that was a funny scene and all, with Rocket going, "I'm going to need this guy's arm," and I gotta say, Bradley Cooper knocked it out of the park, and a lot different from how Rocket's portrayed in the movies compared to the game, the comic, and the animated series on Disney Plus. You know, where it's not saying Flark or Krutakin every so often, which is surprising because compared to the other adaptations. But overall, I gotta give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, the first one, a 5 out of 5. Even though I'm already saying that about a lot of the Marvel movies, but hey, they knock it out of the park. While Warner Bros. And DC can't get their shit straight. Like seriously, canceling Batgirl. But yeah, I'm gonna say that for a review on a DC movie, but overall, a definite 5 out of 5 masterpiece. I hope y'all like the video, subscribe to my channel, and enjoy the reviews as much as y'all enjoyed the said movies I review. And I'll keep dishing them out. All right, y'all. Peace out.